Hi there and welcome back to episode number 5. Now, I haven't been able to work on the bike for the past 3 weeks. That's why I was late with episode 4 because I had to go do some work. Also got married, so ladies, please calm down. No, just kidding, but yeah. Got married, had to do some other stuff, but now we are back at it. And for this episode, we're going to make the base for the seat out of fiberglass. So I've got the material, also have the resin, and then I'll use this cup to mix everything. I'm going to use this to just wrap the bike, and then I'll also use other covers just to cover everything up so it doesn't drip, fall on the bike. Don't want that. Also got some gloves and paintbrushes. I think I have everything. I also watched a couple of videos on how to do it. Seems pretty easy. So all we can do now is just jump into it. I think I have everything covered that needs to be covered. So now I'm going to cut the layers. I will put a layer down, resin, layer, and then I'll probably do that 5 to 7 times. I'll see how thick it is, and yeah, just decide if I want to put more or whatever. And then we're going to leave it to dry. I'm not entirely sure how long, but I reckon maybe 24 hours, 48 hours. I'll just have to give it a Google. So the instructions on the can says I need to mix 1 cup of resin to 1 teaspoon of this stuff. And I've got about 25 to 30 minutes of work time, depending on your temperature, obviously. And it's pretty cold, so I think we should be fine. Also got my material cut, paintbrushes are ready, and I'm going to do 7 layers. I think that should be enough. And Google also said it will take about a couple hours, few hours, maybe 24 hours or a couple days, depending how big this project is. Now, this is a small project, so I'm guessing a couple hours should be fine. Honestly, I have no idea how well this is going to work, if it's even going to work. Let's hope so, fingers crossed. But I'm going to leave it for at least 24 hours, so I'll come check on it tomorrow again and see if it's hardened. They also say you can put a heat source on it to let it dry faster. I don't have a heat gun or anything like that, so I'm just going to leave it like that and let it dry. Alright, so it is now the next day and this thing is hard. Unfortunately, it created like these pools at the bottom, but I think it should be fine. I'm going to leave this in the sun for a little bit longer to just dry completely. And then while we wait for that, we're going to tackle the headlight or the mounting for the headlight, because I need to figure out something. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm sure we can think of something. So unfortunately, the resin seeped through and it got on the frame. But I mean, that's okay because it's only the top part, which is going to be covered in anyway. I should have actually wrapped this maybe like 3 times, but it's okay. I think it should be fine. We can just put the base on top and then it should hide it because there's nothing on the side. There's a little bit on this side, but I don't think it's that big of a problem. So I managed to get the light on. What I did was I drilled 2 holes, one on each side, and then I shortened the bolts, and then I just fastened them, and it kind of created its own threads, but it's still not good enough because it does move a lot. And while I'm riding, it's going to do this, and we can't have that. So I'll definitely have to put something in the inside to really like fasten it, but also not too much so that you can still adjust it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll have to think about it. Before we continue with that, I think this seat is ready to be trimmed and then fastened to the bike itself. Okay, so I had to get a couple of extra things. These are cable ties for the backlight. I wanted to do it fancy, put the backlight inside the pipe, but you know what? I think that's gonna be a lot of effort, and if I screw that up, I'm gonna have to make a whole new seat. So rather not. Just gonna use cable ties, and then the backlight itself also got the 3M sticky adhesive at the back. That'll be fine. That's how I did my first cafe racer. I got other bolts and nuts for the light, so I got the flat ones to fit in a lot easier, but I'll have to grind it down a bit. And then I also have this strong glue that will also weather seal it, which I think will work just perfect. And then a staple gun for the seat itself once I start doing the leather work and all that. So this we will use a little bit later on. We'll call that a success. It is nice and tight. I had to put 2 washers in, but yeah, it's working. This thing won't move at all, and you can actually just loosen it, adjust, and then fasten it again. Perfect. So next up on the list is to fasten the base to the frame. I'm going to drill 2 holes through the base and through the frame. Then I'm going to use the same bolts and nuts that I used for the light to just fasten it so that the seat can still be removable. I'm going to glue the nut to the seat base, and then you could just go with a screwdriver underneath and loosen the seat to take it off and put it back on. So I've decided to use super glue to glue the nuts to the base, and I used quite a lot, so I need to let that dry. When it's dry, I'm going to take the foam, cut it, and then glue it to the seat. Now the glue I'm going to use is this white and red glue devil. So yeah, let's wait for this to dry and then we can do it. The super glue worked really well, actually better than expected, so that's great. Now I'm going to cut the foam. I'm going to leave a little bit on the side, like excess, to cover up the sharp edge so that it can wrap around. And I'll do it for both sides, the back and the front, because it is a lot easier to trim off than not have enough. And that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit like, comment, subscribe. If you do have any suggestions or concerns or anything like that, please drop them in the comments. I will respond to you guys. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress that we've made in this video. So now I'm going to let the seat dry for at least 24 hours and then I can start wrapping it with leather. And hopefully I have enough leather, but we'll find out in the next episode. See you guys next time.